Hey, this is old Uncle Mark from the mothership, 3-string cigar box guitar. We are at part 2 of War Pigs. If you haven't seen part 1, I suggest you go back to it. If you don't need to, we are going to go right into the next section. The politicians hide themselves away. So we're here. Okay, so we're going back and forth between E and D. The song is in E, so there's that dot. And I'm using my third finger, my ring finger, and my first finger back and forth and back and forth. And then I'm sliding up here like so to grab. And if I grab 2 notes, it doesn't matter, but this is the important note right there. And it doesn't have to be bent a lot. I know this isn't exactly perfect, but this is how I see this. So you're coming up and then laying off, right? So you're... Okay, so you're kind of pulling your strings enough that you can catch these 3 strings at the same time. So hammer on up 3 strings, then hammer on back, pull off 3 strings. And I am really pressing as hard as I can to make this happen on D and E, okay? So I am giving all the pressure I can. My entire arm is into this thing because it's a lot of pressure to get this. Okay, and it's just D and E, but you're trying to hammer on 3 notes and pull off 3 notes. So sometimes I leave the fretboard to be able to go back and forth. If you notice, I use this finger as a helper on both, okay? And then you gotta come up to this at some point, and even if you come up to all of it, right, it doesn't matter. You can come up to the whole thing if you want. But you got to get some of it. That's part of the flavor of this section. Like I said in the beginning, I would suggest learning this in sections. And then, putting all the pieces together at another time. Pretend it's going to be 3 different songs and groove on it. So another thing that we're going to be doing is pulling off. So I am pulling my pick right towards my face. 1 hit per. So I'm on that E, then I'm here on E to D, then back to the low E. So I'm going to be doing a pull off here on E to D, and then from B to A. So E, pull off, so that's what you're looking for. And this little part that goes happens in between the lyrics. So it'll start out... and I lost it. And if you notice, I'm crossing to get this note. It frees me up to be able to get these two. So I'm crossing my fingers here. If in a perfect world you would always leave your fingers the same way on the fretboard, but for me to be able to get these notes, I need to cross over this fret to here. So that's how I'm doing this. Okay, so that's basically this section. Okay, we are going to go into the solo after this section. Okay, so the solo starts, and I'm going to use octaves. Octaves are when I play the same note an octave apart. So a G down here is an octave apart from this G, which is an octave apart from this G. Okay? So octaves are a really great way of gathering power. Jimi Hendrix used it a ton. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use octaves. So I'm going to take my second finger and my third. You can also do it this way, but I like these fingers for this song, so it leaves me free to work on my first finger. So we're going to start here. We're going to start here on G sharp, play with F. So G sharp, F, E, D, B, D, E, G sharp, F, G sharp, A, and B, and then we'll be back up to E. So you're just going to fool around with these notes. So you don't have to get it perfect, and I'll try to get you down here so you can see my second finger. What you're going to play with. So you're here. Octaves in G sharp. You're just fooling around with these octaves. So the allowable notes: G sharp, A, B, E, D, and of course B again, and we know B is allowed, and you can go down here if you want. I don't think Iommi does, but it's an allowable thing. If you're just fooling around in here, you know, you're here. Then we're we're going to go back to our E shape, and we're going to do some hammer-ons. So we are here. At this point, there's a ton of jam. Just a ton of jam. You can go back and forth between these two chords because that's what Geezer Butler's doing. He's just fooling around within these two shapes. You can hear the bass slowly go through these notes. That's what the bass line is. I'm not going to try to do the Iommi parts. So we were here. Jam on this, right, for a little while. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now in darkness, world starts turning. All right, and that brings us back to the beginning, basically, the beginning section. And that's where we'll start our third lesson on this song. I hope I conveyed to you the fact that this is not a perfect rendition of this. I think it's very feasible to do. Listen to the album over and over and over. Just put on YouTube and go back and forth with these octaves and get these parts. This is just a tool so that you can get these parts. And part 3, we will work on the ending, which is, I think, is the bomb. This is what made the song so good. This is what made me buy this record. I remember having it. I remember buying it at the store. I'm showing my age here, but I bought this album at the store as a record. So anyway, this is Old Uncle Mark with Black Sabbath War Pigs Part 2, and I do have a virtual tip jar below. It's a paypal.me/Uncle Mark Tips. Thank you for all your support, your donations, sharing on social media, subscriptions to YouTube. I mean, I am blown away, and I thank you so much, and I hope I get this the flavor of this tune in a respectable fashion. So thank you so much.